evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome. We haven't even said anything yet, and Sunda is laughing. Amazing, because you're laughing at what we're about to say.
I'm laughing at you. Usually before James goes on stage, I laugh at him. I laugh the loudest.
She's the only one, really, in the whole
They introduced you, and I'm hysterical. I don't know why, because we never know what's going to happen with James. That's why. Sorry to keep you up. Somebody yawned.
Who yawned? Who yawned? Who yawned? Fire him. You're fired.
But really, because before you get to go on stage, you always lick your lip and you get serious before you go up there.
Do I?
Yeah, you take it very seriously.
But you laugh on stage when I tell a joke. She laughs on stage when I tell a joke.
Because I've heard it 1,000 times.
That doesn't work. No, you laugh when they don't laugh.
Well,
you're laughing at me.
I'd like to laugh with you, but you won't laugh when you're up there. That's how he holds the mic.
And then I laugh.
You never laugh at me. You walk away. If I'm on stage, he walks out. He can't take it. He can't take it. He can't take the applause. What can I say?
Can't take the applause. Yeah.
Let's talk about when you were performing in Paterson, New Jersey. Have we done that yet?
No, we have not. You don't watch the show. That's why she doesn't know.
You want to be nice to the Manzos, by the way, because they own, the Housewives of New Jersey.
Sunda got me a gig in Paterson, New Jersey. Now, this is a comedian's dream.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? If you're a comedian, you basically pray to, maybe get on Letterman or some bar in Paterson, New Jersey. These are the two.
This is not a bar. This is the Brownstone.
Excuse me, the Brownstone, and I did.
And if any of the Manzos are watching, I love the Brownstone and I love the food. And by the way,
are you afraid of the Manzos?
You will be when you're finished with this first segment. I'll tell you that, because you're.
Is this it? This could be my last show.
This could be your last show. So make it happen.
All right, go ahead, make it happen.
Okay.
I'm not going to talk about the Manzos. I didn't see nothing.
Okay, that's all we're saying.
All right?
And when he did his jokes, we didn't hear anything either. How funny was that joke?
Which joke? The one you just did?
No, the one. No.
First of all, at least I'm up there trying jokes. You're doing the same jokes for the last 20 years.
That's
right?
why I get new people all the time.
At least I have some new jokes, and I take a chance, and I try the new joke, and sometimes it works, and sometimes it doesn't.
And so when
all I know is the last few weeks at the Laugh Factory, I've been killing.
Yourself.
I've been killing. All right? The audience has been cracking up.
Right.
Now, on the other hand, I still don't know what you're doing.
Because you leave the room. You can't take it.
Yeah, because
you think I'm going to talk to people.
How many times do I got to hear you're black, you're Jewish, you're black, you're Jewish? 20 minutes, I'm black, I'm Jewish, I'm black, I'm Jewish.
I never ever say I'm black and Jewish.
I'm black and Swedish, I'm Swedish and white, I'm black and white. Whatever you're saying up there, nobody knows what you're saying up there.
I'm the Verizon guy. Can you hear me now? Can you hear me now?
Okay, you've been doing the same nail salon routine for 20 years.
Yeah,
dude,
and someone said I stole it.
The same nail salon routine for 20 years. How many times do you expect me to listen to it?
But the new black nail salon routine is great.
Finally, after 20 years, she added a tagline.
Right, because I have a friend who's a writer, a comedy writer, who never helps me with my jokes unless he gets paid. So.
Because some jokes are not savable.
Okay, so then if it's not savable, James, why do I have an audience?
They don't know better. They don't know better.
That's why I have you as a friend, because I don't know better. That's what you do to me. You boost my self-esteem.
You're making fun of my act.
I wasn't.
Me that they're not
what act?
laughing.
You said you do something new all the time. You don't have an act. You do new jokes all the time. He does new jokes all the time.
I do new jokes all the time.
But I do enjoy watching James. I do enjoy watching James, and I do support you, and I'm sorry that I laugh when you go on stage, and I promise not to laugh tomorrow night when you go on stage.
Great, so then you'll just be like everyone else in the audience.
The shock. He's come so far. He's come so far, you have no idea. In the beginning...
Come so far?
What used to be an angry comedian. You wouldn't believe this about him. You wouldn't believe this about him. He used to be an angry comedian. He called a woman a B word from the stage. I mean, he was in college then. It was really bad.
And you used to go up there half naked and dance around like you were some Vegas lounge act. Nobody knew what the hell you were doing up there, right? You were wearing like sparkly dresses. You think she was going to the prom. That's what you thought. You were wearing sequins dresses, and you would get up there and you would just scream. You would just scream and dance around, and people no one knew what they were looking at.
But they all came to see me again.
Yeah, just because it was like watching a disaster. It's like when you watch CNN when there's like extreme weather. That's where you were. You were extreme weather. You know what I mean?
Week after week,
they wanted to see what was going to happen.
I have to tell you this. The funny part is that's the way James and I met. We've said this prior episodes. We've said this.
Are you sure? Because I know you don't watch the show.
I watch the show.
You don't watch the show.
My kids don't want to see it. That's
Have
why.
we ever said this before?
No, I'm going to just make it clear. That's why we met, because they said that I had a following and I could perform, but I
she
didn't.
had no jokes.
Right.
She had no jokes.
And they said, we have this guy who writes jokes. He has no performance skills. And so that's how we became friends.
That's
exactly what Tim Davis said.
Yeah, so then I went over to her apartment to do the jokes, and she says, thank you for coming. My husband has meningitis. Thank
That's
you.
true.
Yeah.
No, he was over the meningitis.
No, he wasn't.
No, you were upset
and he
because
was
his shirt was-
naked when
his
I
shirt
got there.
was
He was
off.
wearing boxer shorts. The whole thing was creepy. And I was like, let's write. And she said, sure, let's write. Come on, we'll go out and write. And we went and got manicures.
Okay, that's true.
And that's
That
why
was
she
the
still
beginning.
doesn't have an act, but her nails are done.
Right, they are done. James, why does it bother you that I get my nails done?
It doesn't bother me at all.
It does, because you say to me, oh, why aren't you preparing for the show? And you have to prepare for the show by like getting ready and doing these female things, and you don't like it.
I love it.
Tell them what you said when you first got your nails done. I was in the waxing room and I heard them say to James, James said, Sunda, they want to know what color I want. And then he told me later it was a joke, and I thought you were serious.
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
It was comedy.
It was comedy.
It was
comedy, but that's what we do. That's what we do. We think we do comedy. But actually, the kids are doing more comedy than we are these days. I have to tell you that. My
Tell
kids.
us.
Okay, for some reason, James says that I talk a lot, but I really don't talk a lot. Now, whenever he leaves the house, I have one daughter that says, Uncle J-Bo, and makes you come back in. And don't.
That's true, yeah.
Look how he's
I can't get out of her apartment whenever I'm there, because one of the kids, the second they hear me leaving, they always yell, James! I got to come back.
And then what do they talk to you about?
I have no idea.
And now they're texting you. What are they
Now
texting?
they're texting me. Nothing. I can't tell you. I can't. I'm sorry. It's private stuff. They don't want you to know. They ask me for advice on their lives.
I swear to you.
Things that they're not comfortable talking to you about, you know?
And why wouldn't they be?
Because they're afraid of you. They're very intimidated. They don't feel like they can just tell you everything. So
I'm going to let them see this episode so they know that's not true.
They contact me and they say, listen, you know, we don't...
So you're in contact with children under the age of 18 on a daily basis. So America, we know this now. That's his audience. That's his crowd.
That's who I can relate to.
Oh, God.
Basically, I'm their uncle, I'm their godfather, and they come to me with things that they look, I can't talk to you about things, and sometimes I have to go to them with the things that I can't talk to you about. So it's a two-way street. They help me with you, I help them with you. We're all, it's like a support group.
You're very
that we
supportive.
Have. Me and your children have a support group.
You're so supportive that when
you.
they were performing
Okay?
in gymnastics, at the last gymnastics event, you were hysterical
What do you
laughing.
think it's like for your daughters to tell you as you leave the apartment, Mama, do you have your phone? Like everybody knows. Everyone's going through the same thing with you. And yes, at the last, she took me to see her kids do gymnastics. They're world-class gymnasts. And I went to this event, and I go to this event every year. It's insane because it starts at 6 o'clock in the morning, and it goes till 6 o'clock in the morning for 3 days. It's just 3 days of
We
kids
can't pronounce any of the
doing
names.
gymnastics, and I have to be there. And I always say, Sunda, what time? She goes, I don't know. How do you not know? I don't know. I get there at 9 o'clock in the morning. The kids finally get on at about noon, and I don't know why all the kids, they're trying, they're working really hard, but they do routines with ropes, balls, and hula hoops.
It's called apparatus.
Okay? And they're all so clumsy. The hula hoops are flying all over the place. The balls are flying all over the place, and
people are clapping.
And the rope or whatever, the baton, it's so dangerous. They're hitting themselves in the head, and people are clapping like, great job, and I'm hysterical laughing.
He's laughing at the children.
I'm laughing at the children
He's laughing at
because
the children.
when one kid threw the hula hoop and it hit the ceiling and it went all the way off the mat, and I feel so bad because I think their parents were next to me, and I just lost it.
It's embarrassing.
And I'm thinking, don't these kids work at this? Don't they rehearse? Don't they go to... You would think that they would just like, we need some kids to do gymnastics next Saturday, and then whoever shows up, here, take this hula hoop, go out there and do a flip.
Well, what about the kids that aren't allowed to eat? How about the little skeletons?
Well, they are really, really thin, and every time an Asian kid comes out, they're actually really
they're
good,
lying.
and they're in the 8-year-old group. Sunda always goes, "That kid's 30." She always says, "That kid's 30, that kid's 40," and the Asian kids are really good, but they're
not 9. That
the
kid
Russians
was not 9.
and the Armenians are
Very
really
serious.
competitive. I mean, they'll kill you for
They
like
will.
a 1 point or
One
something.
point.
And then I don't even know what the score is out of. Is it out of 15? Is it out of 12? Because
You always say they're cheating.
Because most of the kids are getting 4s and 5s, so I don't know. And that's not a good score, right?
Look, being out there and just being able to participate in the sports is a big deal. And you should not be hysterical falling out in the bleachers like that. He doesn't normally laugh like this.
I just can't.
But I mean, he actually fell across the bleachers, like fell
Danielle
out.
was there, yeah.
And he was just laughing hysterically. That's not helping these children.
And I happen to have been recording it on the iPhone a little bit, and I've been watching. I've been watching it when I need a laugh of these kids falling over the balls. Only because it's this big event, and they always say future Olympian. Yeah, future Olympian. This kid. Okay.
Well,
they're great. I love these kids gymnastics. We got to take a break.
We have to because
I got to take a break.
I have to. I'm going to sweat to
take
death.
a break. Okay, so we have a great show.
Yes, it's not a
my
hula
God.
hoop. It's called hoop.
We have one of our good friends, one of our favorite comedians here today. We got Tommy.
He's lost, but you don't know where he is, actually.
But he will get here.
And when he puts down the Madden game, I'm just kidding.
He is probably playing Madden. He probably
You're
brought
jealous.
it with him. Well, we'll talk about that when he gets here.
Okay.
We also have private investigator J.R. Rosenzweig here with us.
That's
It's
right.
going to be a great show. We'll be right back.
Follow us on Twitter @James and Sunda.
This week, Sunda and I, we have a terrific sponsor. We're very excited about this. It's the first Jewish automobile. John wanted me to make sure I say automobile. It's the
Instead of
Hanukkah. It's the Hanukkah. It's a miracle. 1 day's worth of gas will last you 8 days.
Wow.
That's right, the Hanukkah. The Hanukkah. Oh my God, we got to get ourselves one.
That is. I mean, look at that. That is really an intricately designed vehicle.
Yeah.
Here it has a yarmulke on the top, and it has the Mogen
there,
David
yeah.
wheels.
It's unbelievable.
They are pimping.
This is amazing. Okay.
Gangsta Jews. I love it.
Anyway, our guest joining us on the show, a world-class comedian.
Yes.
One of our favorites, Tommy Savitt, ladies and
Tommy.
gentlemen. Welcome back to the show, Tommy.
Are we going to get call-ins?
What do you mean, Collins?
People with questions.
We don't get questions. No. We can take questions from the audience if you want.
Okay.
Anyone have a question for Tommy Savitt? Nobody.
Hubris.
Hubris.
Hubris. Very arrogant audience. Very arrogant.
Yeah, well, they could go to your website and email you. Hey, Tommy.
HeyTommy.net. I also have my own Pandora station.
Really? What's that?
Tommy Savitt.
Tommy and I have been on tour with the Raging Jews of
Jews.
Comedy, and so I'm going to bring it up again.
Go for it.
We've also done a show with James with the Raging Jews of Comedy at Temple Aliyah. And how interesting is it to be working with James, and how hard do we laugh when he's on stage?
Oh, I told him, he's one of the most talented persons I've ever known, but he squandered all his talent.
Thank you, Tommy. Thank you. This is
He's-
very
I gave him a speech. He
did?
was depressed.
Yeah, you know what you said? Wait. He said, you're depressed. I said, what do you mean I'm depressed? James, you're eating donuts. What did that have to do with anything?
Okay, that's his meal. First of all, he eats baked potatoes for breakfast,
newest
lunch,
thing, yeah.
and dinner. It's monotonous. Put cream cheese on it. Put some sour cream on it.
You can't have cream.
But it's the same thing. And then he mixes it up with donuts at Winchel's. So I said, you're sick. I said, you need help, James. This is not a sign of a healthy man, eating these donuts. And then Mike Blair touched
over
his
there.
donut and he flipped out.
Yes.
He broke it and goes, because he's a generous, Mike Blair is a generous man. He goes, I go, help yourself to a donut. It's not mine, but I offered it to Mike. And I said, Mike, he said, donut, take, and Mike's such a good person, and he doesn't want to take James's donuts away. So he breaks a half. He flipped out when he saw half a chocolate donut laying in his box. He threw the whole box out.
So these are true stories.
Yes.
Well, okay, first of all, so Tommy and I were roommates, right? We lived together. And Tommy came in, I was on the couch. And you lost your mind. This
I
was
heard you come in.
You flipped out. You said, you're on the couch? Do you remember this?
That you're on the couch and what?
I don't
you're
know,
on
I
the
was
couch
just on the
often.
couch.
Which couch and
But
so?
what is he doing? Because he tells me I do nothing all day. He goes, what did you do today? I want to know what you did. Give me a list of what you did today. I want to know what he did. What about this dissertation he's talking about all the time? I can't wait till he pays the loan.
Oh, I told him that. I go, what's he going to put up, a shingle?
No, he's going to get shingles.
I can't wait till he graduates. I'm just
can't
gonna
wait.
watch.
You're just
I'm
gonna
just
watch.
gonna sit and watch. Now what, James?
He's analyzing us. We
Right.
know it. We know it.
Listen.
Yes.
God bless him.
Thank
It's
you.
made him a better person.
To who?
To himself. He's gotten better.
What do you mean? I wasn't nice. Now I'm nice.
No,
Nicer.
you're not. You're nice.
He's nicer.
Not to me.
Well.
He's gotten worse. But I'm annoying. He said he could tell. You can tell when he's on the phone with me.
Oh yeah, it's like
mother.
me talking to my mother. the way he
Oh
talks
God,
to
it's
you.
that bad.
It is. I could always tell when he's on the phone with his mother,
Right.
and he could always tell when I'm on the phone with you.
It's that bad.
And the funny thing is, when I'm on the phone with you, or he's on the phone with his mother, we're basically playing a video game, pretending that we're talking to you. We're basically just going, yeah, no, that's crazy. That's it. Sorry.
So that's why the show is the way it is, ladies and gentlemen, because I'm writing
Wow.
the entire show. That's what it's all about. So now you know the workload I have because his fingers can't go like this because they're going like this. And that's what it's all about. As a matter of fact, today you thought Tommy was going to be late because he was playing Madden without you.
No, I didn't.
Yes, you did. You were concerned.
What did I say to you, Tommy, after you won Madden, the last game?
He's such a terrible person. I beat him.
For the
in
first time?
No, I beat him for the Super Bowl in Madden 12. And, I'm going through some issues health-wise, which I'm okay,
Thank God.
But I was in the depths of my sadness. As I beat him, you know what he says to me? He's fuming as I won the Super Bowl.
Inside.
He goes, "It doesn't matter. You still have to live your life." What a terrible human being. What a terrible disgust. This is a doctor in psychology? This is who you want to see? What a sick man. Sick.
Wow.
Sick.
Sick. This is a doctor.
Sick. They don't believe me. They think I make
Yeah,
up
we're
these
making
stories.
up Bubba right?
All right.
You know what?
Right.
When a person loses the Super Bowl, you work so hard to get there. You know what I mean? You got to understand it's emotions. It's emotional.
Yeah, but you have no emotions for other people. You're really bad to me.
Wow, I feel like I'm doing a show with my mother and sister right now because this is exactly how they talk to me.
Well, maybe it's something to it, James. I mean, he really flipped out when he thought I was going to do his joke. I was going to play a joke on him and do one of his jokes, and he just stopped the press.
That's why I don't do my jokes on stage, so that way nobody steals them.
That's why you don't go on stage, because he's telling me I do the same act over and over again, that he does new material each time. Maybe he should get an act.
Wow, my two best friends.
But
These are
he's my
two best
favorite
friends.
comic. James and Tommy are my favorite comics.
Thank you.
When he goes on, we laugh. We look at each other and we laugh.
very fun.
It's very fun. How?
You'll never know it.
Because he won't tell the jokes. He's not going to tell the jokes. He doesn't want you to know the jokes.
All right, we're going to take a break. We're going to come back with private investigator J.R.
Rosenzweig.
Swag.
Say it again.
We're going to take a break. We're going to come back with J.R. Rosenzweig, and then a little later in the show, Tommy's going to join us for This Week in Anti-Semitism. You don't want to miss that.
Never.
Be right back.
Email us your comments at jamesandsunda@gmail.com. Stand by, iPhone joke, take one.
Welcome back to the show. So I was using my iPhone the other day, right? And I noticed that there's a little button that you can press to flip the camera around. I didn't even know that it had this little button. So now, finally, I could start taking pictures of other people. Huh? Is that comedy?
Stand by, iPhone joke, take two.
Hey.
I just want to say one thing.
What?
I am such a mess with this iPhone thing.
No way! No way are you going to tell my joke. There's no way that you're going to tell my joke. Okay? You tell enough of my jokes in your act that you're not going to open up the segment taking my joke.
Listen, I'm not going to take his joke. Why can't I tell you what happened?
No, I got
My
an iPhone
iPhone?
problem. It's my iPhone, first of all. Joining us on the show, we have a good friend of ours. He's a private investigator. He's watching us. He's watching you. Please welcome JR. Say the last name for us.
Rosenzweig.
Rosenzweig.
Hey.
JR Rosenzweig. I messed up his last name earlier in the show. JR, how are you?
I'm fantastic.
Welcome
James.
to the show.
Thank
Sunda's
you.
laughing because she was going to steal my joke. You notice that moment?
Exactly.
What do you think of that?
Terrible.
Terrible, right?
She's ready
She's
to
still
fall over
laughing,
right now.
yeah.
Look at her.
Somebody give me a tissue!
She's crying. She's crying.
Please give me a tissue.
She needs a tissue. This is terrible.
Oh my God! Ah! You see how upset James got? Did you see it?
Yes.
This is what she lives for, to get me upset.
You see how
Here.
mad he got?
Here,
He got so
JR.
I'm
mad.
good, thanks.
You're good? Okay. Are you okay? She's crying. Oh my God. So here's what happened was I told a joke for this segment, and then we have some technical difficulties, and the camera broke. So they fixed the camera, and I said, I'm not going to tell the joke again because the people, they won't laugh a second. You can't tell a joke twice. So she thought it'd be funny to tell the joke as her own.
I wasn't even going there. When I was going, where I was going is that with my iPhone, there's so many things I can learn about, and that J.R. Rose is so I can teach us. Jewish people are known to be very, very inquisitive. We know that, right? They're very nosy. I'm trying to find a euphemism because they're just so nosy. They tell all their business, and then they want you to tell all your business. He's making money at it.
Yeah?
Yeah, I'm doing pretty well. Especially being married to a lawyer who does family law.
That's
Nice.
great.
Yeah.
I think the best part of your practice is what you do with the adoption services.
Yeah, that's a separate business, but it goes hand in hand with being a PI. People hire me to find their biological parents.
Really?
And it gets interesting because I get probably over 1,000 inquiries a year.
Wow.
And some of the calls that come in are crazy.
Is it a tough thing to do, find a biological parent?
Yeah, especially for the parent. When oh, I had a son? I didn't even know. 30 years later.
Are you the one who breaks
Little
the news?
Michael.
Most of the time, yes.
Really? You
Yes.
break the news to these people?
Yeah,
have
sometimes
to-
they hang up on me.
How
And
do you do it?
10 minutes later, they call back and go, yeah, that was me.
Really?
Wow.
A couple of days later.
I'm going to cry again now.
Well, wait, you said some of the calls are pretty crazy. Tell us one of the
Craziest.
ones. Yeah.
I get these maybe once every couple of weeks. A lady calls me up and she says, my son is looking for his biological father. I go, what's his name? She goes, I don't know. It was a one-night stand.
And that's
This
it.
is true. I go, well, how do you expect me to find him if it was a one-night stand? She goes, I don't know. Can't you use DNA? I go, whose DNA are we going to use?
Right. So
Then seriously, they think by watching CSI and all these shows, this is real, but it's not.
let's talk about the cup situation. You're going to need it. You'll be sneezing.
My pea cup story?
Your pea cup story, yes, because I've had some experience in PI work, and it's funny we're using the word pee a lot, but you know the pea cup is real.
Right, it's harder for a woman to do.
What is
It's
the peacup?
terrible.
Tell them what the peacup. Not everybody. This is like
peacup-
PI talk. This is shop talk. What is the
The pea cup is you're sitting in your car doing a surveillance for 8 hours.
You
You
have
watch
to.
a TV shows, you see a surveillance that
Yeah.
lasts 5 minutes, but
Yeah, but none of
you're
them
in your
pee,
car for
right.
8 hours. You can't leave. You got to watch that subject. And then if it's 8 hours, you're gonna have to go to the bathroom a few times. So you keep a plastic cup in your glove compartment, and you pee in it. And then when you're done, you put it on the curb. Well, that doesn't work on Skid Row because the bums will think it's beer. You know, and that happened.
You've
Skid
seen
Row
them drink
downtown.
it.
You know, you put the cup on the curb. They'll
And they'll
whatever
never know
goes.
the
You know,
difference.
no.
And they drink it.
Hey, you know what? It's got
Beats
alcohol in
nothing.
it.
Right, beats nothing. All right, so now let me ask you what's happened in my experience is that, you know, when a man thinks that a woman's cheating and they're not, they don't want to pay you.
That's why your money up front.
Well, you're right.
You also
We
told
need a
me.
retainer.
Yeah.
You also told me when I first met you that if you think that they're cheating, they probably are.
95% of the time.
95% of the time. Is that what most of the work is? Finding out if there's an affair going on or a law?
Most of my work?
Just in general, yeah. In general,
It's-
PI work.
There's criminal investigators, there's civil investigators, there's investigators who do traffic accident investigation, people who do interviews. But I would say in my business, probably 20% is cheating spouse related. Being in this business 30 years, I've seen everything. I've had a lady hire me to find out who her husband was having an affair with, and it turned out it was 6 different women.
Oh.
And he admitted it.
Wow.
But she wanted evidence anyway. So we gave her the evidence. And then one of the women was a guy, dressed as a woman,
Okay.
Okay.
transvestite.
How did you break that news? Did you have to break news to both of them? Because
I-
he didn't know either?
I'm
Did
sure
he
he
know?
knew.
He knew.
There was a picture of her in the advertisement in the paper.
He's okay.
She still didn't believe it. So she goes, I want proof. I go, what do you want me to do? Take a picture of the stuff?
Right.
So I had one of my colleagues, great investigator. We found out where this tranny lived. So he knocked on the door with and he had his undercover camera with him, and this guy came out in drag. And I showed the picture to the client. She goes, yeah, now I believe you.
He
but-
had to-
Now she will.
where are the cameras hitting these days? Pens?
Pins.
No, right in your
In the buttons?
button cameras.
Button
Everywhere.
cameras.
They've gotten
Right
so
in, you can't even see it.
sophisticated.
What's like the most important, like the number one PI tool? The camera? The little camera? The hidden camera?
Your
The
brain.
guy behind the camera. There you
Yeah.
go. She's 100% right.
Yeah. All right.
It's not about the size of your camera. Remember that.
That's right. He thinks he has a big camera. He doesn't.
And you know, honestly,
We
you know
laugh
what?
anyway.
Use your cell phone camera.
First
That
of
always
all.
works great because people don't realize you can videotape them and they don't even notice.
Well, first of all,
You've been
I have
videotaping young gymnasts.
I have an extra. This is terrible what you're insinuating.
What, that you're laughing at young gymnasts?
No, that I have an eye to predict future Olympians. And I don't want the people watching at home to think that I can help them get into the Olympics. But all right, we need JR to sign the wall, if you don't mind. We really appreciate you being on
Thank
the
you
show.
so much for being on the show.
You got a website you want us to
Yeah.
mention?
Sure, it's www.birthparentfinder.com.
Birthparentfinder.com.
You can find our real parents.
That'll be wonderful. We're going to take a break. When we come back, JR and I, we're going to have some breakfast. And all right, we'll be right back. Thank you, JR.
Thank you.
Be sure to like us on Facebook at The James and Sunda Show.
All right, welcome back to the show. Now joining us on the program, we have a very special guest. She was here last year. Now, last year she felt that she was being discriminated against. She had a restaurant in Borough Park, Brooklyn.
That's right.
A
I got
kosher
rid of that.
restaurant. And she
now
felt that
here
the
in Los
Jewish
Angeles.
community, they were discriminating against you.
And they
didn't
were,
believe it was
and they
kosher
still are.
because you are Puerto Rican.
That's right.
And you've now moved to LA and you've got another situation with the Jewish community. This is Maria Santiago
De Velasquez, de Barranquilla, de Bogotá, Puerto Rico. Okay, Schwartz.
Schwartz.
That's right. How you
And-
doing?
And so last year...
It's so good to be here. I got to
Yeah,
tell you
thank
what's
you for coming
happening.
back.
I'm so glad to be here and have an opportunity to talk about what happened last year. Why don't you sum it up and tell them
Okay.
how they were discriminating against me? They were trying to say my place wasn't kosher.
Right, they were trying to say
All
that
right,
her place...
pastele is kosher,
Pastele
okay?
is
Arroz
kosher.
con pollo is kosher.
Arroz con
And then
pollo
they
is
were
kosher.
coming to my place and trying to get me to be a nanny.
Right.
So you know what I
Talking about
did?
their
I
kids.
packed up everything. I took Menachem, I took Joshua, I took Jacob, I took Yaakov, I took everybody. We all came out here to Los Angeles because they said it's going to be very different out here. First of all, I was really afraid because there's like no Puerto Ricans. All right, so that's like really the first thing. It's discriminatory against Puerto Ricans. There's no Puerto Ricans out here. That's number one. Okay, so number two, being Jewish is not very easy to be Puerto Rican and Jewish and have people thinking that I am the nanny to my 5 sons, okay? Que no me joda. I'm not going to listen to that, all right? Eso es mierda, all right? I'm tired of this kind of thing. And number three is the school is giving me drama talking about the way I dress when I go to pick my kids and when I drop them off, that I'm late dropping them off. You try to get 5 kids ready to go to school, 5 boys, okay? And I'm telling them, Menachem, stop fighting with Joshua like that. And they be fighting in the kitchen. They're like, mira, tienes la cocina. All right, but there's a unit, it's breakfast, and I have to go through all this. They're lucky they even get to school. That's my business. And if I want to keep them out for a month, that's my business. You talking about calling the truant officer on me? What's wrong with these people out here in California? They are crazy. Then they're like, you know something, Maria, maybe you should go and take your children, put them on that ADHD medication. I was like, maybe you need to take something, mommy, okay? Because my kids don't have a problem talking about they can't focus. They be playing in the playground. They playing stickball. Like, y'all don't have stickball out here?
You're finally asking me a question?
You got a problem with that?
No, it was just a joke, Maria, because you went on a bit of a tirade there.
It's not a tirade. It's like,
Okay.
what's going on? As soon as a kid is running around, playing, jumping rope, doing something like normal, okay? It's not like he's packing heat.
I completely agree with you, Maria, and I think from what you've told me...
It's like, really, are they serious?
Yeah, it sounds like from what you've told me that the school really has targeted your children and are discriminating against
Let
them.
me tell you what
And
happened
this
the
is a
other
Jewish
day.
school.
This is a Jewish school,
A Jewish
okay?
child should get a Jewish education, and that doesn't seem to even factor into what this school is
Mira
doing to you.
esta carta, they sent me this letter, right? So I'm bugging out, right? I'm like, oh no, they didn't. I said, oh no, they didn't, right? They're gonna send me this letter talking about maybe this school is not a fit for me and my boys, that we have to try to maybe find another school. And I'm just like, why? Because our last name is Santiago de Velasquez de Barranquilla de Schwartz, right? Because, you know,
Schwartz, yeah,
Schwartz,
that's
I'm a
outrageous.
Jew. There's nothing you can do about it.
There's
I'm
nothing
wearing my
they can do
Mogen
about
David,
it.
they can say
And
anything
believe
about
me,
it.
they've tried.
Oh, they have tried, honey, but this whole thing with the medication is bugging me out, right? Because you know what happens, like, you know, Tito, who I used to be with, you know, he's right now, he's on methadone, he's getting help, he's cleaning up. And so everybody's on drugs, right? Back in you know, New
Borough
York.
Park.
So not just Borough Park, but you know, in the Bronx and everything like that. So the problem is you get away from drugs. So you come out to Los Angeles and then they're trying to put you on the drugs. I mean, what kind of mierda is that? I don't even understand that.
Crazy.
I'm trying to get away from the pushers. They pushing the drugs on me. Did this. The principal gonna look at my face talking about, you know something, I know a pharmacist and we could get your kid on drugs. We could get him his
principal.
Meds. That's what he said, the principal. He's like, we could get him started right away. Pop him upside his head if he acting up. That's what you do.
Is that how you discipline your
That's
children?
right, like that. I knock them
okay.
right upside the head if they need control. You know what I'm saying? Like, you gotta just knock them and let them know who's the boss.
I see.
I'm tired of this. You know, you got a timeout. You got a timeout. Out, you out. Okay, that's who's out. You out. All right. And you're not gonna have any dinner, and not for a night, not for 2 nights. You're not eating for the whole week. All right. No voy a comer nada. Okay. You're not gonna eat no arroz con pollo. Nada. Okay. That's the way you take care of it.
So,
you handle it.
Do your children have a lot of energy?
They have some energy if they're eating. If they bad and they don't eat, they don't have no energy.
All of our viewers, including myself, we're praying for you. We wish you the best. We want this problem with the yeshiva to get resolved. We think your kids, your Jewish children, deserve a Jewish education.
I believe you. I believe you. I'm glad you're with me on
this.
this.
We think this is outrageous.
I'm coming back.
We want you to come back. We want to follow up on this story.
Okay.
We want to know if the children
Listen,
are still
I wanna
in the
thank
school, and
everybody
don't get
for-
them on medication. Don't put those children on medication.
Are you on medication?
Absolutely not. Well, not
Good. That's
anything
what I want to
legal.
know. What's that pen for? Because I did my eyebrows.
This pen is for you. We would love for you to sign our wall. We have
Oh,
a
I
wall
thought
here
my
that
makeup
people-
wasn't right. I would love to sign the wall, y'all. Thank you so much.
Maria Santiago, blah, 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 Schwartz, ladies and gentlemen.
Wepa! That's right. Wepa! Nagila haba, yo, Boricuas, let's dance. Hey, that's what I'm saying, Maria.
This week in anti-Semitism, it's all over the world.
Right.
There are incidences every day, every week, every minute, every hour. We put together some of what we think are the most compelling ones. We talk about it on the air and we try to make sense out of
And
it.
how do I win this game?
It's not a game.
It's not a game.
This one's
It's
not a
anti-
game.
It's not the anti-Semitism game.
No, it's not a game.
It's a program.
It's just a comment. It's an editorial.
segment.
It's a segment,
Yeah.
okay.
It's not a
All
game
right.
because when it comes to anti-Semitism, Tommy, there are no winners.
Right.
There are no winners. The Presbyterian Church, they got a Facebook page. Apparently, the leaders of the Presbyterian Church have been making some very bold anti-Semitic statements, such as that Jews are controlling politics, media, and causing the economic crisis. And so Jewish organizations are trying to get them to change their leadership or take down this Facebook page where all this stuff has been posted. And apparently there's a situation going on with the Presbyterian Church. I don't know if you've heard about this.
I haven't.
Yeah, so typically you always thought that the Christians were pro-Israel and pro-Jewish.
Well, there are. There are.
Yes. So what's going on with the Presbyterians?
Well, I think the problem is they having an insecurity complex here.
What do you mean?
They want to control the world.
They want.
They want the Jews to give them a little something.
I see. And you know, when you say the Jews,
I wish the Jews would stop hoarding.
hoarding,
Give a little bit.
That's what they're trying
That's
to
what
say.
they're trying to say.
They also posted things that like Hamas should keep the Israeli Gilad Shalit when he was a hostage. They were saying things like that they shouldn't give him back. Real intense,
Hoarding.
vicious
You're right.
stuff.
You're right. They were hoarding.
Well, listen, there's no democracy when it comes to religion. I mean, Judaism is number one, right? They rule the
Right.
world. It's a fact. It's not a democracy with God. So
Right.
once the Presbyterians accept that, they can live with themselves.
Whoa.
So they're jealous.
Yes.
They're jealous. I see. Okay. Well, thank you very much. Here's another one. There's reporters. They're facing trial. Facing trial for what? These are Danish reporters. Or no, not Danish. They're Dutch. 2 Dutch journalists are facing trial in Germany for invading the privacy of a Nazi who was in prison that they put in jail.
Who's the Nazi?
The Nazi, he's a war criminal. His name is Heinrich Boer, B-O-E-R-E. And he was a Dutch Waffen-SS assassin.
Well, you know, the SS were an enlisted group,
Yeah.
so they had no choice.
What do you mean?
Well, that's what they say.
Oh, that's what they say.
They were just doing their job,
I see.
right? But it's a volunteer service.
So Tommy, you have a law degree. Can you invade someone's privacy while they're in prison?
Yes, you do have. There is privacy.
There is.
There is certain things. Yeah. You have the privacy to show everything to the security guard.
That's right. Everything.
That's your privacy.
If convicted, they'll spend 3 years in jail. This is in Germany.
Oh.
So I think Nazis are protected there.
Well, it's Nazi was a political party,
Yes.
fascism, and you know what that leads to.
What does it lead
Prison.
to? Prison. All right, so anti-Semitism also, it's on the rise in Australia. It's on the rise all over the world, as I'm sure you know. But in Australia, it's getting really bad to the point, check it out, they're hanging Nazi flags, they're hanging Nazi flags.
Are you sick?
No, but you know what? The last few times we've done this segment, we had your husband on, and he
Nobody knows that.
Oh, really?
They
Nobody
do
knows
now.
that. Come on. All right, Tommy, we want you to sign our wall, which is where all of our guests have put their signature. The pen has been sterilized. We really thank you for being on the show.
Thank you
One of
so
our
much.
favorites, Tommy Savin, ladies and gentlemen.
Number one
You can
Tommy
hear him on
Savin.
Sirius Radio. He's on all the time, every day, right there playing you. He tours all over the country, big time headliner.
And it tortures James.
Wait, he's got a DVD, a CD that you can
I
buy
have
on
a CD,
iTunes. Tell us what's it called.
It's called Who Wants Me Now?
Who Wants Me Now, and the website
For
is
obvious reasons.
HeyTommy.net, and got my own channel on Pandora.
On Pandora. Tommy Savin, ladies and gentlemen, our favorite. One of our favorites, no doubt. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Please sign the wall.
Check out more content online at our webpage, jamesandsunda.com.
All right. Wow, Sunda. Are you okay?
I'm fine.
You really enjoyed this show.
I did. I had a great time, and it's not often you can really like laugh and have such a good time and laugh so hard your eyelashes come off. But I tell you, yours. When you thought I was telling you a joke, your eyelashes were coming off.
Well, when you were doing that, that didn't bother me so much, because that was funny. Like I was just pretending to be upset. You know what I mean?
Yeah, we could tell.
But when-
Ask Tommy.
But when Tommy was here and the two of you guys had your little fun, it was hurtful.
Well, you know what that means, James? You could be nicer.
Very nice. You're making the people think I'm not nice. It's terrible.
He's nice. He's available. Ask Tommy. If you have any questions, go to www.heytommy.net and ask Tommy Sabat if it's true about James Harris. And also, please send him your used tissues. Please just mail them here to JLTV. Blow your nose, send them and address them, attention James Harris. And just say, personal and confidential so that he opens them, and put the return from a bank so that he'll open it.
I just want to say that we make a lot of jokes about this whole thing with the germs and the coughing. And
But
the
it's true. We
sicknesses.
can get sick.
And the truth is that it's not really true. It's just an act. It's comedy. That's all it is. I don't care. You can cough on me. You can sneeze on me. See, it's not bothering me at all. It's not freaking me out. It's fine. See, it's just a
why?
joke. What?
Because you took something.
Took what?
Who knows what you took? Like 100 vitamins? That's what your mother says wrong what you're living now.
My mother thinks that I'm sick because I take vitamins. That's what she tells me. It's because you take those vitamins.
Who else
that's why
says
you're
that?
sick. Your husband.
Yes.
He says it as well. My mother is the female version of her husband.
Yes.
They're the same person.
It's the same
two
person.
people.
Unbelievable.
And they really like each other.
They
too.
do.
They get along great.
She abuses him, and he picks her up and takes her wherever she wants to go.
Oh, when she gets mad, yeah.
Oh my God, it's unbelievable. I've never seen it. They really have a strange relationship.
They have a very strange relationship.
He picks her up. He'll rent a car and take her somewhere.
He will. He was very nice to her.
Right, but he wouldn't do that for me.
But she doesn't appreciate it.
I don't know about that. I'm not going to get into
All
that.
right, she
Look,
appreciates it. I don't want to get in any trouble. There goes my compassion. I'm not nice. She's going to see this. It's over.
well, she knows that. She was the first person to tell me about you.
She did. When I told my mother I wanted to be a psychologist, this is what she said, quote, why do you want to be a psychologist? You have no compassion for people. Why don't you be a rabbi? Rabbis don't have compassion for people? Where did she get that from?
Maybe Chabad. I don't know.
What do you mean Chabad? Chabad's wonderful.
I'm saying that's where they're going now. Maybe someone's influencing them. Maybe she wants her son to be a rabbi. That would be so good to see you.
She's never wanted me to be a rabbi
Since-
before in her life. I don't know where it came from.
Maybe you would be a good rabbi.
I don't know.
What do you think? I'd be a good rabbi? Why I'd be a good rabbi's wife?
I have no idea.
Me either. I tell
don't
you,
think so.
Aviva does not. The only reason why she doesn't want to be with the rabbi's son is because she doesn't want to wear a long skirt.
Sunda's trying to set her daughter up with the rabbi's son, with an Orthodox rabbi's son. And you
He's
gotta
so
remember,
cute.
Sunda's daughter's 10. But she's trying to make
I'm
it happen
thinking
right
ahead.
now. And Sunda's daughter doesn't want to shave her hair, get a shadel. She doesn't want to wear long skirts.
You don't have to shave your head; you just have to cover it.
No, I think the Lubavitcher Rebbe said that he thinks all women should be wearing, all married women should be wearing a shadel.
Yeah, but they don't have to shave their head. She has thin hair. She can just wrap it.
I don't think that's going to work. I think she's going to have to do something about the hair.
She doesn't want to wear the skirt. That's what the problem is.
I think the hair is a problem too. It's not just the skirt. She doesn't want to do the whole deal.
Listen.
But I am with you. I think she should do it. We can have
Is
her
he a
married.
nice? Is he a nice
He's
boy?
a really nice guy.
Is he a nice
have
boy?
we could have the bar mitzvah next year and the bat mitzvah next year, and then we could have the wedding the
And I
year
could be
after.
a grandmother. That's all I'm looking forward to right now.
could
Isn't
be a
that crazy? I could be a
grandmother.
grandmother.
That's
and
all
you
you
could be a
want.
granduncle.
I could be a great uncle.
A great uncle, right?
great uncle, yes.
Right, because you're a great uncle now.
I'm not.
Yeah,
I'm
you
a
go
sucker.
watch them perform and then laugh at them and take videos of
I wasn't
children.
laughing at. First of all, I'm a total sucker, right? I tell them I'm going out. They want to come with me. Next thing I know, I spent $200.
No, this is what happens. James leaves the house, okay? And they go, please, Uncle James, can we go with you? Please, please, please. He goes, I'm going into Best Buy and I'm not buying anything except what I want from me. I just got to get one thing. He comes back, he's got Wii's and joysticks.
I had 2 Wii games and 2 Wii joysticks because they saw them. They were on sale and they wanted them.
Why do you give in?
Because I'm a sucker. Because I'm nice. You see, despite what Tommy and Sunda say, and despite me laughing at the Olympians, I'm a nice guy. All right? I'm nice. You guys would have laughed at the Olympians too. And if you lost the Super Bowl, you would be upset as well. All right?
But we didn't because we had a Paterson boy on. Not that I'm going to bring that up
Not
again.
that Super Bowl. I'm talking about the real Super Bowl, Madden 2012.
You and Tommy have got to stop. I told you that.
It's a sickness.
It is a sickness. You
It's a
don't. And
sickness.
I know when you're playing the game.
How
by
do
the
you
way.
know?
So Tommy didn't tell me something I didn't know.
And I know when you're not paying attention either. And you're like, I'm multitasking. We're doing pre-production for this show, trying to figure, and as you can see,
And I'm
we
doing
put a lot
spelling
of work
words.
into this show. And she's doing spelling words. You're on the email. You're not even
I'm
listening
on the
to us.
email. I have over 3,000 emails. How can I be on the email?
You know what she always says? She says, I'm on my internet. That's what she says. I'll be like, what are you doing? I'm on my internet. Who talks like that? I'm on my internet. What does that mean?
What about when my machine breaks?
My machine breaks.
I don't like it. I don't like being on. I just don't like sitting there like that. You answer every email. You told me you don't get that many.
Yeah, but you can't keep, it's been a while now, Sunda. You can't call me up and say, James, how do I cut and paste?
I can cut and paste.
You can cut and paste now?
Yes, I can.
Mazel tov.
What's the other thing I can't do?
Save, print,
No, I could save and print.
restart.
I can restart.
Then what is it?
I can't upload, download.
She can't upload or download.
Right.
You have a lot of computer problems.
Right. Can't upload, download, and then I can't do the back end of the web thing.
Here's one of the craziest things. Sunda has a lot of technology issues. It's not a lot of people aren't so good with the computer, but you are not so good with the computer. And then what your husband does is every week
Oh my
he
God.
goes to her computer and installs new things.
It's
He
terrible.
tells her, I just installed this and that, and her whole computer's a mess.
A
and
mess.
And then she hires this guy, Mike Blair, over there to help her with her computer. And what does he do? He breaks it. Right? You broke the computer. And then he's got to go to the Genius Bar over at Apple to get it fixed. So you've got really
No, I
bad
think
luck
I don't know.
with
Don't put that
computers.
on Blair.
Don't put that on Blair. He
No.
just admitted it.
Was it you?
I mean, I touched it when I got to it. It was broken. So
Was that you? I thought it was my husband who broke it because he
it was
thinks.
broken when I touched it. So
It was broken when you
either
touched
the
it.
touch broke it or it was broken before.
I don't know. I just don't like doing all this stuff with the internet. Here's the thing. People say to me, I sent you an email. You didn't respond. I was going to give you the gig. If you want me, call me. That's it. You hear me? Call me. Call us.
So that you have 3,000 emails in your inbox, okay?
I'm gonna
there
get
might
to them.
be things in there. You might have lost $1 million worth of gigs because you've got emails from 2006.
Well, then I don't need to work with people that can't
All
call
right?
me.
She's got emails from 2006.
No, I don't. No, I don't.
Sometimes she'll write me back.
That's not true.
Sometimes she'll write me back, and I'll be like, Sunda, I sent this to you 2 years ago. I'm glad you finally got
That's not true.
down.
That's so absolutely not true,
Well, we
Michael.
gotta go.
I'm glad because I'm going to go and I got to work on my internet.
She's gotta get on her internet. All right, well, thank you very much, folks.
Write to us on, and guess what? I stay up on Facebook, by the way. Just know that. I'm the one that's on that Facebook page. You can talk about me from today and tomorrow, right or wrong. I'm on it.
I don't know what she's talking about.
You be on it.
But you can email her on her Facebook page.
Not my Facebook page, our Facebook page.
The James and Sunda Show Facebook. All right, we gotta go. We'll see you next week. Good night.
Good night.